Have you ever loved someone so much that just watching the way that they carry out everyday mundane tasks can just carry you away? If not, that's totally cool because you're going to get to experience it anyway as we dive into the exquisite music of Ellen Mandel's To an Isle in the Water. Hello and welcome back to Meet Mozart. I'm Angie, that's Mozart, and today we are continuing our deep dive into the music of American composer Ellen Mandel with her song To an Isle in the Water. If you're curious and would like to get to know a little bit more about Ellen, including her background and how she chooses poetry, as well as what kind of things she strives for when creating music, then I highly recommend checking out part one of this series. But for now, it is on to an isle. So, Ellen, I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about this first song that we're going to hear, To an Isle in the Water.
Okie doke. Well, the poem is incredibly beautiful and touching. And a lot of people call it shy one when they get in touch with me. They say, "Oh, I want the score to shy one," because that's the beginning of the poem by Yeats. And my original motivation for writing some Yeats songs was that I was going to do a little performance in Ireland. And I thought, oh, this is my chance to write some songs to Yeats because he's wonderful. And so this was one of a group of three that I wrote for this particular performance. And I loved the poem. I found it just so touching. The feeling of the poet towards this, I assume a woman, but it wouldn't have to be, but well, it says she, but this very, very intimate image of a shy, quiet person just moving around. And I've been to Ireland a few times, and I picture in a small cottage and doing these little domestic things very quietly, but pensively in her own self. Mm-hmm. And then the expansion and the desire and the lift of saying, I'd like to fly away with her to an isle in the water, that he's just in love with her, and just the feeling of wanting to fly away. It just felt so evocative and so musical to me, and the contrast between that first part and then the feeling of flying away and the water. And so that's, if that answers your question, I don't know. Does that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and I think musically, again, you really feel that in the music. There's this sort of hesitant. There's the whole thing kind of feels like a little bit of a wave, right? In a way. And when we're talking about her and how shy she is and the things that she's doing, there's sort of like a slow, gentle wave that's sort of underlying the whole thing. And then whenever we get to the parts where he's saying, like, to an isle in the water with her would I fly, then this wave starts to really take off and roll, and we feel a little bit of a little bit of an accelerando in the music as that happens. So we get this really nice contrast between her shyness and pensiveness and between the speaker's passion and what's really flowing and what the speaker is really feeling.
You completely get me. Really wonderful. I didn't think of the first part so much as a wave, as just a feeling of yearning, or a feeling of almost kind of a heartbeat feeling, or of hesitancy. But yes, and then the release into the kind of wave-like fluidity of an isle in the water, and also of a flying, because with her would I fly. I mean, it's such a, in the word, such a lift. It's just, flying is up, you know. I love the lyric, the words, shy as a rabbit. Yeah. I find that so adorable. It just kills me.
Right.
That's one of the things. I think when I got to that, it was like, oh, I've got to set this to music. It just, just so dear, so sweet.
Right, right. And every little, of course, again, with poetry, it's really painting this picture. And it's really beautiful in this text how we get to see this person through the eyes of someone who obviously loves her very much. And that's a real, one of the special things about it.
So I'm so glad you're singing it.
Clearly, I get a little emotion about it too. It makes me very happy. Wonderful. So now we're going to go ahead and perform To an Isle in the Water for you, so you can hear for yourself what you hear going on. And I hope you'll let us know your thoughts and what kind of things you've gotten out of Ellen's take on this beautiful poem.
Shy one, shy one, shy one of my heart. She moves in the firelight, pensively apart. She carries in the dishes and lays them in a row to an isle in the water. With her would I go, with her would I go. She carries in the candles and lights the curtained room. Shy in the doorway and shy in the gloom, and shy as a rabbit, helpful and shy. To an isle in the water, with her would I fly. To an isle in the water, with her would I fly. With her would I fly,
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, push all the fun buttons, including the little notification bell, and join us again tomorrow as we continue our deep dive and explore Ellen's seductive tango, Oriental.